when you get all this bashing of no, 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 unfortunately, we regret to inform you, blah, blah, blah. It's easy to just think, I'm not qualified. I don't have the skills. I'm not communicating the way they understand and blah, blah, blah. But using that belief, I want you to build altars or put flags around your skills and how your skills have come through for you in the past. Yeah, sometimes you have just outshone yourself. You have gotten accolades. You have been told thank you, fantastic job. Fadekemi is great at this. Bukola is superb at that. At that. Always remember those times as well, so that when the self-doubt comes up, when the bashing of the no, 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 you can always remember, no, I'm not daft. I'm not dumb. I'm not foolish. It was the same me a year ago that got this accolade or got that recognition. It's the same me. Nothing has changed.
It's just work. We're trying not to take it too seriously.
But really, it is your career and you need to take ownership of it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Okay, today we are getting into a new series, a new theme. We've wrapped up our new manager's playbook theme. Glad for all the positive feedback.
So many
positive feedback we got. Thank you guys so much. We're entering a new theme called Rejection Proofing Your Career. Everybody will get a no every now and again. So in this new series, we're going to touch on different topics around rejection, how to handle rejection, different types of rejection, and things like that. So welcome to this new theme, this new series. And we hope that you'll enjoy it as usual.
Yep.
Okay. Bukola.
Yeah.
I say yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Take it over.
Okay. So I think for this episode, we're going to just dwell on normalizing rejection. Like, just,
right.
It happens. Everyone, I don't think there's anyone who can say that you haven't faced one form of rejection or the other. But of course, we're limiting this, to a career, from a career lens. So we're going to, just, sort of focus more on that. But yes, everyone has, gone through some kind of rejection in their career. So whether it's, and mostly this comes through in, apply for a job, you get rejected, or it's maybe after an interview you don't get selected. All of those things are forms of rejection.
Ghosted.
Or you get ghosted, which is like that's the worst. That's really the worst. But
by the way, sorry to cut you short. I actually read that 75% of candidates say that they've gotten ghosted.
Ooh,
75%.
That's high.
Yes. So they don't get a rejection, an outright rejection,
but they don't get a response, and that's worse.
That's worse. Even after going through multiple interviews.
Wow,
it's bad.
Why? I didn't know it was. That's really high, actually. Yeah. That's really high.
Yeah. Another.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say another study actually says that ghosting is the new rejection. So once they ghost you,
just take it as it's so painful. I think it was I don't know who was the person that posted it very some time ago around the fact that while we know that is really unrealistic, the person said was like you would probably to respond to tens of thousands of candidates, right, who apply for a particular role, like maybe responding individually or something like that. I know some organizations have like automated responses that just sends a bulk mail and everything, but some that don't, it's really it can be quite unrealistic to respond to everyone. But person said something but they feel that for those who have gotten to, like you said, to the final level, it's just courtesy. It's just courtesy. I know we're not talking about that today, but that can be very painful. Like you've gone through several rounds and nothing.
Yeah,
that's really that's not nice.
Provided you've had a personal interaction with the organization, the decent thing to do is give some feedback. And we even understand that some organizations don't have like an ATS or an HR information system, and someone has to manually type these emails and whatnot. And sometimes people forget. I've been in that situation. But once a candidate emails you to follow up, don't ghost them. Like, okay, so you have forgotten as the recruiter to keep them informed, and then the candidate emails you to follow up. You have a duty of respect and care and whatever
to respond
to that email.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Dekem, I think just to get this conversation going, should we just go right into what to do pretty much after you get a rejection?
But I just wanted to say that like rejection is normal. A lot of times we take rejection personally.
Yes.
We think it is a reflection of our poor performance, our poor communication during interview. We internalize it. We feel like we failed ourselves. It hits our ego, it hits our self-worth. But everybody gets rejected every now and again. Look at all the big stars: Beyonce, Chimamanda, Dangote, LeBron James. Like all these people, even like pastors, all of them have gotten rejected, have gotten disappointed, have gotten a no, and it's not something that happens and because you're a star it stops happening.
No, it continues to happen.
It's a continuous thing.
It continues to happen.
Please don't see it as you failing yourself. Don't see it as your self-worth being don't see it as a hit on your self-worth. I know it's easier said than done, but just know that everybody gets a no. Sometimes you think you're going to get that job, you think you were outstanding in the interviews, the recruiters were nodding like, oh, that's fantastic.
In fact, some are even taking notes. Like, no, they take notes, but you know when someone is taking notes, that's like, oh wow, that's a good point. Oh wow,
brilliant. And then a couple days later you get an unfortunately email. It really, really sucks, but just know that it happens to all of us, even the best of us.
It does. No, it does. Absolutely, it does. I think, and thanks for just sharing that, Dekem. Like, that's one thing you should just know. It's not about you, really. Like in most cases, it's not really about you. Like it's just a whole lot of other factors that come into play when these things happen. Maybe just to share some interesting facts, I would say from notable people that we know or we've heard. Like, okay, so for example, Oprah, for example, was told at some point that she was unfit for TV. Can you imagine that? Like, Oprah, really?
Do you know who else was told she wasn't fit for TV?
Who?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school varsity team. Can you again imagine that?
What?
Can you imagine that? Like, what? I think we just see these guys now and we just feel like, oh, now that they're like, you will never have thought that they actually did go through something of that sort. So it's actually
Michael
interesting.
Jordan.
Yes.
Arguably Jordan. The greatest basketballer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And the J.K. Rowling, so the person who sort of let's say wrote Harry Potter series or something, her manuscript got rejected 12 times, or rather by 12 publishers. Can you imagine?
Potter, that is such a massive movement.
Harry Potter, Harry Potter got rejected by 12 publishers. No, so please, in fact, well, of course, I'm not trying to what's the word? Is it? Maybe like one person's rejection is higher than the other person, but you get my point. Like, if these great people, like at that time, experiencing this and whatever one experiences now, obviously you cannot put them on the same scale because rejection hits home. Whatever it really hits hard, right? And all that. But the truth of the matter is that these people have gone through, like these people that we know have gone through series of rejection, and it's really just around, like, again, not. I think it's just, and already from that, from knowing them and seeing their success story, we can already tell that they didn't rest on their hand. Like, they just kept going. They kept going because I think it's first believing in that thing that, like, whatever value you're putting out. So, and in this case, so let's bring it home now to talking about careers and all that. You are the value. Your career, your skills, your experiences. That's what you're selling. That's the product. And I think it's believing in that and knowing that, no, I know I have something great to offer. Right? You guys didn't pick me. It's your loss, actually. It's actually your loss. I know what I can bring, and then and I'm going to just continue to push through. So I think that's something from these people's stories that we can tell that because they knew what they had, and they didn't rest until they found found the answer that they were looking for.
The person that said yes.
The person that said yes, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's go into some practical strategies to normalize rejection. What people can do, because we can sit here and say, normalize it. It's normal. It's universal. It happens to everybody. But what are some actual steps people can take to make this feel less painful, less personal? I would say one is see rejection not as rejection, but as redirection. Right? See it as redirection, as the people who are Christians and even, Muslims, like, there is a greater power above us that directs and shapes us.
Exactly.
Bukola shared a story recently that I'm not sure I can share, but basically, when we looked back, we had that conversation yesterday. It was so clear how God had just orchestrated everything from about 6 months ago to favor her. Just moving things here and there. Some things felt very painful at the time for her. It was a lot of work. It was overwhelming. She started having different other considerations and whatnot. And then when we had the conversation yesterday, it was like an epiphany. Like, oh my God. God was just redirecting things to favor her. At the time she was going through all of that stuff, she didn't see it. It was like, what is happening here? There's so much chaos. Right? But now she can look back and say, whoa, it actually blew our minds yesterday when we were talking about it.
It did.
So always see rejection as redirection. If the job was for you, you would get it.
Absolutely.
Right? It is painful, guys. Please, we know. Like, it happens to me. Oh my God, trying to get a job in this Canada is like looking for a needle in a. My point is, it can be difficult. Times is like it really hurts.
No, it does.
Right? But training your mind to just know that, see, the plan God has for me are good plans. They're good plans. They're better than my plan. So I'll see this as a redirection. God doesn't want me there, or He doesn't want me there at this time. Right? And also try and learn through the process. How is this shaping me? Am I building resilience? Am I learning patience? Am I learning better communication? I take that. Am I learning better communication? So you see all this better, all these things. It's all these interviews. When you're talking to, when you say better, they're like, huh? So you say better. So am I learning better communication?
You killed me there. I think the second point, and I'm just going to pick up from what you just said in terms of around what you learned from it, and it's really around again, I know journaling is quite foreign to us as Nigerians.
I have a confession.
Okay,
you got me a journal.
Yes, I did.
Ask me now.
Ask
me about it.
I don't know if you use it because it's a prayer journal. So case in point. I know it's alien to us, so it's foreign to us, but okay, maybe if you can't do journal, it's okay. But it's just, my point is do some kind of reflection on, how, and again, I'm bringing it back to, a career focused conversation that just to bring it home a bit more. But let's say it's regarding that, it can apply to any other kind of rejection that you faced, but do it's a kind of self-reflection on that particular situation. So let's say it's for an interview. Think back, okay, maybe from maybe how you answered those questions, maybe you could have answered this way. Just do this kind of reflection, right, and see, you already identified some things, and again, not to say that those things you identified were the reasons why maybe you got rejected. It may not even, it may not have been so that they saw, because that happens. It wasn't even that or something. But like if I just to your point, yesterday, I remember one of the interviews I went for many years back, like I don't even know how many years ago, and I was speaking to my friend yesterday, and he told me that because he was on the inside. He actually told me, I heard for the first time yesterday, that the reason why they didn't pick me for that role was because they thought I was overqualified. Really? Like I was like, are you see? I just kept saying, wow. Like I was like, oh my word, that was the reason. So again, it could be that. So don't even. But my point is that you may just, maybe okay, maybe I could have done this better. I could have done better. I could have done this better. And then, my point is just do some kind of reflection and identify those areas where you felt like you could have done better and learn from that. So make sure you make just adjustments in your next interview or next conversation that you're going to have, make sure you make those adjustments and just improve from. I think that's the only thing I'll just, something else you can do from, redirecting or learning from that rejection process.
Yeah. Absolutely. The next point is get feedback where necessary. When you get rejected, especially when you've gone through multiple rounds and you sort of have a rapport with the recruiter or whatever, you could ask, and then you get a rejection. You could ask to get feedback, like, why did I get rejected? Because, whatever it is they say might just be something you need to work on or improve on or whatnot. Of course, if it's not things like overqualification or whatnot. A lot of times you don't get feedback.
True.
Let me be vulnerable with you guys. Sometimes it sort of annoys me when candidates ask for it, because I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, really? Yeah, like I'm like, bruh, you want me to sit down and start writing? Like, just leave me. But if I'm in a fantastic mood, sometimes I give feedback, and of course for legal issues, sometimes you don't want to be too specific, because sometimes it's just those nuances and bias and whatnot. But anyway, if you do get feedback, work on whatever it is prevented you from getting the job. And if you don't get feedback, just shake it off. That's also you building maturity or becoming more mature, because sometimes life doesn't give you answers. You just have to roll with it.
I'm telling you.
You have to roll with the punches, right?
I'm telling you.
But that's just you also getting more mature and things like that. So I would say that is another point or another area that could help.
Absolutely. And I think something someone told me, like I read on LinkedIn recently, and the person said, this is a recruiter, and a candidate that she has sent a rejection email to, after they had gotten through some phases and like all of that. But said one thing, there's something that candidate did that warmed her heart,
right?
And then opened door for for her to contact the candidate again. Was the candidate actually sent a note, a thank you note. Honestly,
after getting rejected. Wow.
Same thing. I said, thank you so much. I learned through the process. I understand you may have gotten, literally sent a thank you note. So that's something I was like, oh wow, and I'm glad we have an opportunity to talk about. I was like, this is something I can talk about. But yeah, and it won my because she then said that months down the line, another opening came up, another role. Of course, she said she didn't even go to the person again. She just said, are you available? And that was how the person got the role. And of course, those things sort of stay with that person who is handling that recruitment, because just distinguishes you, like, oh wow.
Yeah.
So again, guys, that's something else you can also just repurposing that whole rejection into something more positive, right? You never know what's going to happen. It may not be that organization, it may even be that recruiter saying that, I may have this candidate too. You see, you never know. But just don't get bitter about it, and maybe then get angry and all that. Just maintain that positive attitude. Take reflection from it, and then I think
that's really neat, because the thank you I'm used to is like
after the interview. Yes, exactly.
So before even hearing back from the recruiter, just sending a thank you. But sending a thank you after getting a rejection, that's new.
Yeah. I thought so. It struck me. I was like, okay, this is on that level, but I think I can imagine how it would have just created that space in that recruiter's heart, like, oh no, I have to find something for this guy, or for this lady or something. The other thing I would say would just be, and I think we've touched on it already, is just about reaffirming your value. Again, like I said, your experiences, your career, your skills, and all that. That's really is the product, or that's the service or something that you own.
Right.
That's the value that you're going to bring or give anyone, and continue to affirm yourself in what you carry and what you those experiences that you have.
Right.
Because sometimes there's a way that maybe when you keep getting rejection over and over again, you just feel like maybe I'm not qualified, maybe I'm not good enough. It just begins to affect your doubt, and as it makes you doubt yourself and your capabilities, what we don't realize that we take that same spirit into another, like let's say you got invited for another interview. It's somehow because your mind is so, like, it's been so dampened, so let down and all that. We carry that same thing, and even you don't realize that maybe that's why you can hear people say, oh my god, I knew I blew that interview.
Yeah.
And you don't know why. But these are the things that because you just allow that thing settle so much in your heart, and then it's now translating to even how you see yourself and all of that. So please continue to affirm yourself, your value, the things that you possess. If you need to call somebody, your friend, somebody that you trust in your core, within your core, as they call them and let them just affirm you of make you just feel like you're being a bit let down and all that. Let them affirm, no, they can, you're a smart person. Oh, they can, no, and there's even no doubt about your capability, and they just,
positive
affirmations, just to help you just to get through that phase. But I think that also really helps. So you don't allow yourself just lowering yourself almost to that level of I'm not good enough and all of that. We've been through rejections though.
Bruh. Oh my God. Let's not open that box.
Especially in Canada, and I'm sorry, maybe I don't know, but and I know people can agree. People in Canada can agree.
One more times 1 million.
I can't. Let's not even go there.
Yeah.
But again, people in your corner, affirming your value, I think is just what helps us get through it and learning from that phase and all of that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna add to that, and I know we have to wrap up. Is something I've learned as a Christian. There's something we talk about as Christians that in order to remember the faithfulness of God, we have to build altars around what God does, right? So for instance, God comes through for you at a particular time. Just build an altar there. What that means is put a flag that, okay, I'm always going to remember this one time God came through for me, so that when I face difficult times and it seems like God is not with me, I can remember that he came through and build up my faith. I'm drawing from that belief or illustration to say it's the same thing with your skills. When you get all this bashing of no, unfortunately, we regret to inform you, blah, blah, blah. It's easy to just think, I'm not qualified. I don't have the skills. I'm not communicating the way they understand and blah, blah, blah. But using that belief, I want you to build altars or put flags around your skills and how your skills have come through for you in the past. Yeah, sometimes you have just outshone yourself. You have gotten accolades. You have been told thank you, fantastic job. Fadikemi is great at this. Bukola is superb at that. Always remember those times as well, so that when the self-doubt comes up, when the bashing of the no, you can always remember, no, I'm not daft. I'm not dumb. I'm not foolish. It was the same me a year ago that got this accolade or got that recognition. It's the same me. Nothing has changed. The skill, the knowledge is still in my head, right? So also, not to go off preaching, but also hold on to that as well. Build altars around those past accolades so that you can pull from that strength as well when you do face rejection.
Yeah. Wow, Dickens, flesh and blood did not review
that. Deep, right?
That was
not your mate.
No, that was so good.
Yeah.
And it just like I never would have linked it to that, but honestly, guys, we're giving you real stuff here. Can you see, like, real stuff? Support our ministry.
Support us.
Now, wrapping up this episode, support us. Like it, subscribe, share. You see, you're not even taking #1 from you or $1. So I know we don't use Naira anymore. Or $1 from you. See what we are giving you from our heart. See that thing they can by the Spirit of God. I hope you guys can sense it.
The Spirit led. Yeah,
guys, support us. Yeah, thank you. We love you.
No.
Not finish. Oh, sorry.
One more thing.
Okay.
To keep the engagement going, guys, if you could just share your rejection stories with us. The most damning rejection you've gotten, either in the comments or just share directly.
Please.
That would keep the conversation going.
Yes. We'll love that. We'll love that. Please do. On our Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on this video, just please share. We'll love to hear it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. Now we can let you go.
Bye.